Hey everybody, it is me, Fifi Dash. Welcome to Fifi Quest. I got going for today. It is Tuesday, October 6th. As you know, when this is getting released, and this should have been the month of my first slutty Halloween costume. And it isn't. It isn't! Everybody, and listen, let me tell you something, you anti-mask people. I'm gonna remember this and hold on to this grudge like a goddamn Albanian gangster. So I'm supposed to be a slutty Tinkerbell, whoring myself out in front of the public in the biggest, gayest parade here in LA you've ever seen. And you fucked it up for me. You fucked it up. You got that? We fucked it up here in America. It didn't have to be this way. The one lady from New Zealand, she did a good job of containing it. I don't remember her name. I want to say it's Janine Sandalwood, I think is the Prime Minister of New Zealand. That sounds about right. Oh, Fifi, you can just be a slut in your house. I know! I've been doing that for months. What have we been doing during quarantine, if not being sluts in our home? You think we're not hoeing it up a lot on our lonesome in here? You think we're not, remembering to practicing some self-love every now and again? It's like we're quarantined in a monkey cage around here. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I'd like to put a stop to that, everybody. Let's make it every other day and have a little dignity. Oh my goodness. So here I am. It's good to be here with you. Remember I said in the last episode that I like doing Fifi Quest because I really feel like I get to sit down and really, I feel very safe doing this. I really get to sit down and feel who I want to be. And, discover who I really am and what I want out of life and deep down inside who I really am, because I was so lost under so many layers of just defense mechanisms that I thought were my personality and I thought were my soul even, and they're not. So, gosh, it's where I am in transitioning, and I also just want to say quarantine is exacerbating all of this. So, I tell you what, if you're watching this out there because you're a trans woman, and you're trying to see what you're in for, I started all this the day before the stay-at-home order, so I don't know how normal my experience is to yours, or, either way, but, I just want to be honest, so that's what I'll do. And I guess I wanted to share what went on over the weekend. I had a really bad weekend. I had some problems. I don't want to say I'm doing fine. I don't feel great now. I'm not 100%. Oh, what? That's what I wanted to say. I feel like at this point, I interrupted my thought. I feel like I'm at this point in my transition, it's like I'm living someone else's life. It's just, starting to come into who I am and what I want more and more, and, it is very I feel like even though I am that person, the life I've built around me and what I do for work and where I go for fun and my social circles, it's like they were all built by someone else. And sometimes, and that's not to say that I don't love people there, or that we won't still be friends as things go on, or that they're not right for me, but all the same, it's like the things in my life that I'll end up keeping, it's almost, from my old life, it's almost like it's a happy accident, because my whole life is set up to live as someone else, and I'm not sure what, if anything, about where I am now. If I had been my real self my whole life, how many of those things I would have come into contact with and would still be part of my life. But you know what? Like, that's not a trans problem specifically. I think everyone, to a degree, their life is a journey into finding who they really are. So I think I think everybody in some way deals with those issues of thinking and I don't have to look at like, oh, this is wrong and I'm in the wrong life, but this was based on false information, and everything in my life served me for a time, and everything helped me get here. So maybe it's not false, it's maybe just obsolete. Sorry, my chair is caught on something. I guess I should say what happened over the weekend. I have a day job right now, and I've been working for him for 2 months as a man, and what's going to be over 8 months now as a woman, and he does call me Fifi or Josephine. However, he maybe never calls me she or her or miss or sister or anything like that. He uses guy words like he and brother and sir, and it took a long time for me to gear up. I believe he was one of the first people I told about this, because I felt about like, hey, can you call me Fifi from now on? And can you call me she from now on? Because I wanted to like test it out there before I took it into my world of what the time comedy, which I was more nervous about at the time. And it took me a long time to get up to that point, and it took me a long time to get up to when he would say it wrong, of correcting him, and correcting him in a way where I used to be very quiet and be like, oh, could you please call me she? And it got to a point where I would say it louder, more present, and be like, please call me she, or please don't call me that. Then it got to a point where he was always sorry, and always like, oh my goodness, I'm sorry, yeah. But it did not change, and it didn't get any better at all. It also got to a point where he would do it in front of people, call me he or call me by guy words when I'm dressed like this in front of other people, and I told him, please don't do that, that's humiliating. And it just didn't get any better. So last Wednesday, I told him, I need you to do a better job talking to me like I'm a woman. And he just said, well, I mean, I'm gonna make mistakes. And it's been 8 months. No one else in my life has a problem with this but you. And kind of became clear to me, like, it went from, I'm really proud of you, Fee, for standing up to yourself, that was the way it was for a while. And then it was like, will I define me? Other people don't define me. When that's what I would think and say to myself when he would call me that. And I guess just after months and months, I just realized, wow, it's been months and months and months, and he keeps saying he's sorry, and that, he's going to do something about it, and he's going to try harder, but it's not changing. And I just felt like, what the fuck? I just felt so stupid, and like, this isn't getting any better, and he's just calling me a guy, like, multiple times a week, every week, for months. And, just keep saying, I'm sorry, and keep saying, please don't do this, please don't do this, please don't do this. And just, well, yeah, sure. And just, by his actions, he didn't say no, but his actions are just no. And this is kind of an issue I'm having with my family, where I told my dad, like, I need you to stop. My dad is not transphobic. He supports me in that endeavor, but he says things to me when we're all together that hurt my feelings, and he does things that make me, like, uncomfortable and nervous. And I told him, I can't. This is making me unhappy, and can you please not speak to me this way? And he doesn't think. And he told me, I said, he said, well, I understand I'm hurting your feelings, I hear you. And I'm like, well, are you willing to change any of these things you're doing? And he, in so many words, he said, no, over and over again. He doesn't think he's doing anything wrong or needs to change anything. And, that was really hard to deal with when I saw my family last September. And, it was really hard to deal with at work, too. And, I guess it's just like, I would think about my dad, like, really, why don't you hear me? Why don't you see it the way I see it? Why are you not willing to stop doing this? Why isn't the answer, oh, I'm hurting your feelings, I'm sorry, Fifi, I won't do that? And I would just think, why? And, with my boss, I was like, why can't you just stop? To have someone important in your life, whether it's a family or an employer, just sit there and say, like I'm saying, you're hurting my feelings. All I need you to do is something, it's just redirecting the airflow out of your mouth a little bit, and just not saying things that I'm telling you are hurting my feelings and making me feel bad. And to just be told that's just too much to ask, or it's just too much effort, that it's unreasonable for me to ask. It was just too much, you guys. I just lost it on Friday, and I just started thinking, like, why? I can't handle this, and especially with, like, COVID and not being able to see people, and me feeling like I'm already, behind in life because of my transition, and knowing that, like, I want a family, and knowing that I want to change careers, and not entirely sure what I want to do or where to go in life, and, like, having an idea and, like, enough of a direction for now, and I just lost it, and I couldn't, I felt like I couldn't take it anymore. I felt like I can't figure it all out. I can't manage all this, and I had to go to the hospital, and, because I just couldn't stop crying and couldn't stop freaking out. I was worried I was going to hurt myself. And, that's what happened. And, it was a really rough weekend. They discharged me that night, and I'm not ashamed that I had to go, because this time is hard on everyone, and it doesn't matter. It's just, I don't have to have my emotion around it be I can't handle this. I don't have it in me to handle this. I don't have it in me to handle this. The way I can look at it is say, I need help to handle all this right now. I need more help. You know, people can't get through life without help, and I needed more help at the time, and it's not easy for me to ask for help. And, so that's what happened. And, it's a really rough weekend, and I went to a friend's birthday party, and you know what I did learn this weekend was I reached out to a lot of people, and sometimes I couldn't say anything hardly other than just cry and be kind of hysterical, and so many people talked to me, and friends brought me flowers, and I'm going to show you guys something, okay? These are from my friend Brianna, and she left them at my door because she wanted to know that she cared about me, and that was really appreciated. I'm going to put these back so we don't do the rest of the podcast holding them. So that's what happened, and then, just I realize I have a lot of people, when I'm willing to be vulnerable and ask for help, or willing to just say I need friendship, or I need some help, guys, there are a lot of people who want to help me, and I'm really grateful for that. And, sorry, I have chicken masala sauce on my arm. Made chicken masala tonight. And, so today I didn't know what to do, because I honestly think, I was thinking over the weekend, I can't handle this anymore. So I went in today, and I told my boss, this is what I said. I said, I have been working for you as a man for 2 months. I've been out as a woman for 8. You keep calling me guy words over and over again. And, I don't feel like you're putting any effort into change. And it's not changing. And it's not changing. And it's insulting and degrading and humiliating. I feel harassed. And, it needs to stop now. You need to address me as a woman completely, entirely, starting right now, or I will leave, because I can't do this anymore. I will quit. And he said, he looked ashamed, and he said, I hear you, I'll try to do better. And I said, I don't need you to try to do better. I don't need you to try. I need you to address me like I'm a woman entirely, starting right now. You've had enough time to get used to it. I don't need you to be sorry. I don't need you to be sorry. That is nothing for me to say you're sorry and do it over and over again. I kind of hate the word sorry, to be honest with you guys. I mean, to me, an apology is I'm going to amend what I messed up, or, otherwise it's just, hey, I did something bad to you, but stop being mad at me about it, because that makes me uncomfortable. No. And he said, I understand. I'll really, really try to try to watch what I say. And I said, I don't need you to try. Don't try. I don't want you to try your best to speak to me with basic respect. I need you to speak to me with basic respect or I will leave. It is California in 2020. This is ridiculous. And by the way, just so everyone's aware, I work directly for him, so there's no like HR or anything to complain to. Otherwise, I certainly would have. And that's what it is. And I think that I will leave. Yeah, no, I think one more fuck up and I'm out of here. I think it's been enough already. I think I've put in enough time. I think I've been patient enough with ignorant people. I think I've tried to go, I define who I am, other people don't. Enough to where now if I keep going, and I think he's proven that his apologies don't mean anything because they don't lead to a change in behavior. Enough. Enough. Long ago is enough. And, yeah, I'll follow through. I'm scared as hell to do that. I'm terrified to do that, especially right now. I do not have savings. But I went to the goddamn hospital because I thought I was going to hurt myself. And I can't keep doing this. And here's the thing. In my recovery journey, I understand the basic principle of I define who I am, other people do not define who I am. I think when that idea is wonderful, if it's just being out in the world, interacting with the rogue public, like someone says something to me, yells at me out of a car or on a street, or a homeless person says something to me, can't control that. There's an inherent willy-nilliness to life, as the philosophers have said. But I think with consistent relationships I choose to be a part of, I can't afford to be spoken to that way. I just can't, because you know what? If I was telling myself all the time, you're a man, 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 you don't look like a woman, you're not a woman, you're not a woman, you're not a woman. I can't afford to do that. My self-talk is too important. I've done too much work about turning around negative self-talk and being kind to myself, and I have seen how destructive negative self-talk is to my life. I nearly died from it, literally. And it gets to a point where if I'm in a relationship with anyone else who is talking to me in a way that I can't afford to talk to myself, and I don't think anybody can, then it's no different. I think that to me is where I say, look, I can't afford to do this. Well, I am me and you are you. I define me, you do not. I think, because I'm choosing to be part of it. I'm choosing, the fact is, and I understand I have to work. I have to make money to support myself. Of course, but I'm doing too much spiritual work on the idea that, don't settle for a miserable manner of collecting crumbs of love, of prosperity, of anything, because you're scared there's not enough for you out there or you're not worthy of it. I've done too much work that says act as if life is abundant and don't suffer for crumbs. And I feel like if any of that means anything, it applies to this, because this is intolerable. This is not worth jeopardizing my mental health over. I have too many delusions in here about how scarce it is, or how much life doesn't want me, or how much it's against me, to act on any of them like they have. I have to act on the opposite, because I can't afford to indulge in these scarce life is against me beliefs. I can't. They are ruinous. I don't have that dubious luxury of living like them. And I'm glad. Why would I want to? And I don't have to. So, I am scared. But this is just the move. I can't, no more. And I don't know what God wants from me. I don't know where I should work or what I should do. I'm skeptical if I want to be in entertainment at all. I really am. I want to believe I can carve out a piece of it where I'm happy and I'm fulfilled and I do it on my terms. I'm very talented at it, and I've got a lot to give, and it's been important in my life. It's never been frivolous. I mean, you know what? It maybe is now to me, because I have such a wealth inside of way more than I ever did, of who I really am and contentedness. But you know what? That was not me for a long time. And I needed art and escape to get here. It's a tool for me to not really need it anymore. So if I could go in somewhere and write funny things and do fun creative things that mean something to people, that's their escape and their relief and their catharsis when they need it, to help them at best get to the best part in their lives, at worst just keep them spiritually alive when they're hurting. I'm very willing to believe that that's God's plan for me. But I don't know. You know what? I'm willing for it not to be too. And I'm scared not knowing. But this idea of telling my boss I will quit if you do not stop, even though that scares me, that is done in the spirit of so many things that have led me to being happier than I ever thought I could be. And that is what I am going to do. And, I'd like everyone... Sometimes I think, like, I can handle everything, and I like to think I got a good attitude for the most part, and I've got some skills to deal with stuff. But you know what, like, I needed help on Friday, and that's okay. That's not a failing. That's not a failing that needs to be corrected. That's a simple, I need help. It's not... I think it's egotistical to say I don't need anybody. I need people. Everybody does. I made chicken tikka masala tonight. I didn't invent chicken tikka masala. I need people. So that's that. I think that's, I had a whole bunch of notes of other stuff, but that's, I think that's it for me this week. Thank you guys for this. Really helps me. And you know what? I'll go a little longer too. I'll just say I don't like being thrown out. I just felt really rattled and really numb after being so emotionally run through, and that scares me because I like feeling in my body and sensual and joyful, and I really feel joyful. When I believe that God has my back and God's taking care of everything, that's when I feel free and happy, because that's when I can relax and play. I can't feel that feeling when in the back of my mind I'm just thinking, what do I do? What do I do? Who do I email? What do I do? Who do I call to? This is going to happen. What do I do? I can't, then there's no spirit of play in my life at all. I think I can get to it where my entire life is done in the spirit of play. I think that's what my life can be. So, anyway, thank you guys for listening. This podcast is really helpful to me. I hope it's helpful to you. My wax melter just turned out. Fill my apartment with gardenias and patchouli. Smell like a 70s mom. Anyway, I love you guys. As always, if you want to recommend this podcast to your friend and tweet it around, and rate and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, and do all that stuff to support the show. I see some of you guys doing that, and I appreciate you so much. And as always, I'd like to keep growing the podcast, get maybe a Patreon going with offer some more content and that kind of thing. And, I think that would be great. And as always, if you want to email me about anything at all, you can email me at fifiquestpodcast@gmail.com. That's FIFIQUEST podcast@gmail.com. I love you guys.